will this player lift our culture? So you might find that you've got a player who by reputation is outstanding, can beat a player, great attacking skills, whatever it might be, but just doesn't fit in the culture. But secondly, has got some off-field issues or has got some behavioural issues that decrease the overall culture or take away value. What you want is to say, I want a talented player, sure, but how can I increase, how can I lift our work ethic? How can I lift our belief? How do I lift our overall ability to deal with pressure? How do I lift our overall culture? How can I find players that can do that? And I think if you listen to Alex Ferguson, the Manchester United coach, he says, look, I can buy any player in the world. I can buy anyone. What I want, though, is someone who, by their actions and the way they prepare and their attitudes, lifts our overall standards across the park. Not just someone who can kick goals, but someone who lifts our training standards, lifts our behaviour, lifts our discipline, lifts our work ethic. Because that way, if everyone's lifting, then I can get the culture that I'm after.
We might just wind it up, Wayne, by just giving you to give us a quick finishing overview, if you want to call it that. It's just, say, 3 or 4 main points as far as what clubs, or even more if you want to, but of what I know we've covered a lot of areas, but is there 3 or 4 main points that the club should look at?
Critical that the first question that they can answer is, what do they really want from a head coach? That's vital. Easy way to do it is to get senior members of the player group, the executive, the board, some other stakeholders together and say, what do we want from a head coach? And really get that tight and understand what you want. And look at different angles of that. What sort of play do we want? What sort of trademark? What do we want? We want people to look at the Broncos, we want to look at the Titans or the Bulldogs or the Raiders and say, wow, they play that style of football. So look at that. What style of football, what's our trademark going to be on a football field that we want to be known for? The culture. What culture do we want? Do we want a culture of discipline, work ethic, toughness? Do we want a culture of attacking, open? Do we want a culture that's driven by a coach? Do we want a culture that's driven by players? Do we want a culture that's driven by the board? So what sort of culture do we want? And then start to put together the puzzle. Okay, what do we want? Who can deliver that at this point of evolution? And probably the third thing is really think about where you are now. Not where you were 10 years ago, where you were 20 years ago, or the sort of coach that you had during the golden period. That's the biggest danger to me a club can fall in, is that they go, well, we were successful in 1965 with that sort of coach, we need that sort of coach. Or let's get a player who played in that era, turn them into a coach, and our success will come back. Look at where they are right now and then plan for the future. Don't look back. Nobody's ever been successful looking back.